Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Joe Emilio Show. I'm your host, Joe Emilio, and it's a bit different today because it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and usually I do these shows at 8 o'clock in the evening or 7 o'clock in the evening. But because of load shedding last night, I couldn't have the show. So I spoke to my guest, and we rescheduled for this morning. Obviously, my guest has a very busy schedule, so we figured, hey, let's just do it in the morning. Not a problem at all, thanks to load shedding, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, and this is also going to be a different format. It's not going to be a 2-hour show. It's going to be a 1-hour show with the great, the legend, the amazing Mr. Barry Hilton, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
I think the bat's gone off. How's it?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm cool, eh? The glasses look okay because they look weird for me. It looks like I'm wearing jam jars.
No, they look great. You look like there's a whole Martin Scorsese thing happening. So it's good. You look like you could, direct a few movies.
100%.
So Barry, how you been?
I've been great, eh?
Yeah, I think this is your third appearance on the show, and last time we were speaking, you said you were working on a course to. Yeah, that looks much better, actually.
The Ninja Turtles.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, so last time we were speaking on the show, you said that you're working on a course. It's been
Yes.
completed. I've
Yes.
done it. Tell us more about it.
Comedians have a whole string of jokes or whatever, but everybody is witty. People are witty with them, with their friends, their family, and things like that. People that they are comfortable with. So my course actually breaks down the essence of comedy into three simple styles: puns, exaggeration, and false logic. When I say styles, more like three simple methods to make a laugh: puns, exaggeration, false logic. My jokes, I've got about 25 or 30 or I don't know how many hours of stuff in my head, but I wrote them one at a time, all of those jokes, one joke at a time. And as a comic, you would do those three things. You would do puns, exaggeration, and false logic, or whatever that suits your style in a long story. My course cuts it to the wick that you only need 3 seconds, because that's what my course shows you: to make yourself 3-second one-liners to get a smile, to get a reaction, to leave an impression, or whatever. For instance, if you wanted to use it as an opening line, okay, how's it? I'm an alcoholic. I used to be a teacher, but now I just drink them. There we go. I just
Yeah,
made that up.
quick.
So it's a line like that. Hello, how's it? Um, I do garden service. Yes, you pay me to cut your lawn, but I actually play tennis. There we go.
Yeah, like I took the course, and actually I want to mention to people as well, like, you mentioned I'm also a comedian, and we often talk about the comedy industry and stuff. And I gotta say the course was simple, easy to understand, and at the same time, guys, you could literally do it in like an hour. I think maybe an hour and a half if you want to replay a few of the clips. But it's basically categories, and I think the longest clip you have is about 4 minutes, if that. It's not even that long. I think it comes in about 16 parts or something. But yeah, most of the parts are about minute, 2 minutes. Very quick, very easy. You can take your time understanding everything. You can replay everything. I just want to show as well to the people watching, what your website, which is linked in the description below. There it is, and it's called Talk Funny.
Yes,
The price is 999 rand.
yes.
For those of you who may think that is expensive, it's really not, because Barry is teaching you basically a life skill, right?
Yes.
And it's all given by you. You narrate, you teach, you tell everybody. There's nice infographics and pictures and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really really easy. And then this uh, PDF that you get, do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah. The PDF is basically like a mind map. So you choose a topic, you open up the topic. So you got one word, and then one word becomes 6 words, and then 6 words, because you open up again, you get a total of 31 words from one topic. So if you chose like education, you can get 31 words pertaining to education easily. Math, science, teaching, degrees, da. And then you use the examples that I've shown the people, puns, false logic, and misdirection, whatever you want to call it, and exaggeration, and then you just link the jokes together. So the secret is to choose the style or the formula that suits you. There are 3 formulas there, which does not mean you have to do jokes on the 3 formulas. You choose the formula that suits you best and then work on that. And then that's how you make your jokes. So once you've written one joke, let's just take an example. Guy goes into an optician. The optician said, "You need glasses. How do you know? I could tell when you walked through the window." Okay. That's a false logic joke, because you're going one way and you're doing the other. So once you've learned that joke, the next false logic joke, which is the same joke but with different words, would be a guy buys a brand new car, says to his mate, "Are my flickers working? Yes, no, yes, no." The same joke.
Yeah,
And the same joke again on false logic would be two, like you'd say, "Have you seen that dead seagull?" Because the dead seagull won't be up there; it'll be down on the ground.
yeah,
So it's the same joke 3 times that I've just told you. So once you've learned your style that suits you, your method that suits you, you've got your joke, and all you have to do is change the words every time.
yeah,
So you could write a new one-liner every time you go out.
yeah.
Give me
And
a
sorry.
just give me something to write about, just quickly. Say
Um, I'm trying to think of something difficult. If there's anybody watching, you guys can also drop some. Well, we do have some viewers watching, so you guys can also drop some topics. Let's go with vaping.
what?
Vaping.
Vaping. Okay, so now, if you wanted to do vaping, you'd write all of those words around vaping, which is smoke, patterns, flavors, nicotine, whatever. So you'll get your 31 words. Now, I like false logic jokes. It's my favorite type of joke. Okay. So you would choose, so you should say vaping, it's a false logic. And then you'll say, these oaks who vape now, they're brilliant. They make words out of smoke. Okay. But only um, if they'd have studied in school, they would actually be able to read them. There we go.
Yeah, that's a good one. But
So
we've got
that's, I just
Brian.
explained. Okay,
Yeah,
go right.
we've got Brian Woodland who says, "Can you do a joke out of karate?"
Well, the obvious one would be, I would, it's very fast. I'd have to tell it chop chop. So how I would get that, Brian, is karate. And one of the words you would use in the course would definitely be chop. It's a karate chop. So you want to exaggerate it, or you want to, you see, my thing is false logic. It's false logic. So karate, I tell it you fast because it's chop chop. Because chop chop means the same as, okay.
Yeah,
So you could also say, I've got a black belt in karate. Is it? I've actually got a brown belt from Versace.
yeah,
That's the joke. You know what I mean? Because that's a false logic joke. Because you're trying to tell me that you're a killer with a black belt,
yeah,
whatever, and then say, well, seriously, I have a brown belt in leather. There we go. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, Ryan?
Well, I'll see if he replies to that. I think he will. But yeah, I think, ladies and gentlemen, if you are someone, I think this is where it really helps as well. The course is like if you're someone that in your job you need to or requires you to stand in front of people, do presentations, public
Even one,
speaking. Sorry.
even one on one.
Even
Yeah,
one on one, if you want to show off to your friends at a braai,
yeah.
this course is perfect for you. Barry, do you think this course can help someone become a comedian?
Yes,
Okay.
but it'll only help them become a comedian. If they've got the funny bones already and they're determined to become a comedian. Because to tell a 3-second joke, my son Jack can do it. He's 12 years old.
Hmm.
To get on stage and do a set,
Yeah.
difficult, because even to do 5 minutes in front of people, because you can't just talk about karate, 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 karate.
No.
You have to talk about something around there. So you've got you've got 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 minutes. You know what it's like to be a pro, Joe. It takes a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of disappointment, and then plus, and then
Yeah.
eventually start getting paid money.
Yeah. No,
However,
absolutely.
only a very small percentage of any artists, sportsmen, anything you want like that, only a very, very small percentage make it
Yeah.
to have a decent living or a more than adequate living.
Yeah.
Archie, my dog is chewing the flowers. This Archie, I swear, I think he's fish because he's ever taking Sandy's tackies and chewing on the sole.
Yeah. I met your dogs. They're really awesome. Archie is the big one or the small one?
The big one.
The big one, the naughty one.
That's it.
So Brian said 100%, so he gets it, and he also said you are the master, which you are. And
Which,
so,
if you say it fast, it sounds wrong. Very
um,
often, really?
I think also to mention about your course is not just for if you are someone that wants to be a comedian, it's basically lays the foundational skills that you need, that formula that you can build on and build on and build on. But obviously, being a comedian, there's and like you said, you need to get used to being on stage. You need stage presence. You need articulation. You need to work on all this other stuff and other skills
You need material first.
and material. But it I think this course can also help build on that material because
Absolutely.
once
If
you
you're a
have
com-
that formula,
if
yeah,
you're a comic, you understand those formulas, and you naturally want to do the business, then why not? You just take it like that.
yes,
So, but my course really, I've written it for Bruce.
hmm,
That you do a 3-second one-liner, sort of at will, because the more you practice and use the PDF, the easier it becomes.
yeah,
Do you remember when you were in school, and every morning in school, in junior school, there was a big blackboard or whatever it was, a chalkboard to be politically correct, that had your times tables on there. Do you remember that? And every morning you'd go, "Good morning, sir. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6." Do you remember you had to look at that board for a certain amount of time?
yeah,
But after whenever, or the time that you didn't even look at the board, you just recited it because you knew. And now, years and years and years later, somebody will say to me, "Yo, that car is flipping 300,000." Yes, imagine if I had 300,000. If I paid it over 12 months, what would I do? And then you can go, "Dada," because you've done it. You know what I'm saying? You've
yeah,
done, you know the maths, you do this. Yeah, if I'm paying 6,000 rands a month and I'm doing 12 months, how much am I going to pay? 72,000. Because 6 12 is 72. Okay. So that's what happens with this course. Once you start writing it, and you write it and you write it and you write it all the time, eventually you'll find yourself thinking of a word or whatever, a topic, and automatically going, that's my style. I like puns. So you'll go da da da, and before long, you'll be making a joke basically instantly, like it just, you've done it with your wife, you've done it with your friends, you're talking about rugby or whatever, ice hockey, whatever you do,
Yeah.
okay, and somebody tells you to puck off, so that's a pun.
Yeah.
Okay, but they would say that instantly, and everybody would have a hysterical laugh about it because there's no pressure.
Mm.
So my course once again teaches you how to get to that level that there's no pressure, because you don't need more than 3 seconds. That's,
Mm.
I don't know why I'm talking to you for an hour.
Well, we're going to talk about other things as well, but
Oh,
I think one last question on your course is like
yes.
how long did it take you to complete it officially?
Me,
Yeah, like in
10 years,
terms of like creating it from its inception
10 years.
to 10 years. Okay.
Because, okay, bearing in mind, I have serious ADHD. So I've got a number of things that I work on. Check out the shirts. You seen the shirt here? Did I show you the shirt last time? Hold on.
No, you didn't. Cock shirt.
Okay. I get these ideas now. I've I've sold these on my website
Yeah.
already to my cousin. They're $200. It's a good shirt, great quality, but it's a cuck shirt. And I did that because people, South Africans, say cuck to emphasize something. So the next shirt I'm bringing out is a picture of Joburg, a picture of Cape Town, and a road, and says cuck far. Okay. So now my mind is on that at the moment. So I'm doing. So I would do my talk funny course. I would hit a. I would hit like a T junction or whatever. Yes, see, then I just put it to the side slightly because I've learned to do that, and then carry on with other stuff, and then pick it up again. So that's why it took so long. And I've tried it, and I've tried it, and the secret is you shouldn't be scared to fail, because if you don't fail, you'll never learn. So there we go. I have a card game that I've invented, um, Smart Ask, and I've done 35 different variations now over the last 5 years. They sell to the punters. When I go out and sell it for a bit of fun, I love going out and selling. I stand there and I sell. I'll move 50, 60 packs a day, no problem. But now I've got the pricing better. So instead of charging 100 rands, I can charge $50, and I will probably move 200 packs a day because 50 rands. And it's a card game that I wrote myself. Okay. Now I put it aside over COVID. Now it come back in the wash. I've realized now I can send it to, say, a fast food company. I've changed it for them. I can put their branding on it. One of the categories that asks the questions can be about their product. I've also put a QR code on it so that anytime that when the players are playing, they can scan the QR code and see that company's specials, what's happening, events, calendars, and things like that. So now I'm working on that with, Deirdre, my peer. I told her this morning to that do this, and this, and to which she replied, "Okay, must I put must I put the talk funny aside?" I said, "No. Carry on with the talk funny. Just bear in mind that I want to put this together as a presentation, because that's what I do. I'm a creative, so that's why it takes a long time for me to do things. I'm not very good at. I'm very good at creating. I need somebody in my life that can drive it to the end. Does that make sense?
No,
Hey,
absolutely.
oh, this is my idea. What do you think? Wow, that's power. I can do the rest. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for, a partner who can do that.
Mm.
Because I come up with ideas all the time. So if there's anybody out there that knows how to take something and do the marketing for me, I would be happy to discuss something. Because,
Yeah.
for instance, I've got to go now to all of these places and all that stuff, and I basically haven't got time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, does that make sense?
No, it does make
I'm
sense.
offering somebody a job on risk because in the creative business, if you pay somebody to do something, they just do it. It's because it's a job.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for a closer type person who understands that it's risk.
Yeah. I think those Huddy does want to apply for the job.
Yeah, yeah. One just cracked on my table. What were you saying to me, Adida? Is this a crack table?
Oh man. You should maybe put a Hadida on a shirt and say cockbird.
Crack, brilliant. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Emilio has just written a joke. Crack, Adida. Or you could put cock loud.
Or cock loud. Yeah, that's a good one.
Has anybody else got an idea? We'll make one up quickly. What should I? You see the words. I got that because my lighties kept on saying, "Yeah, but that's cock strong. That's cock weak. That's cock swak. That's cock this." So because I'm a creative, I see this and go like, "Hold on, we can make something out of this."
Yeah, no,
Could you
absolutely.
put of Usain Bolt like a caricature of a sprinter?
Yeah.
And it just says cock fast.
Brian says cock table is a good one, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Like a
cock
wobbly table, maybe.
table. Well, exactly. I was about to just to say that now. You'll see a table with the four legs, and one leg is shorter than the other, and it'll say cock table.
Yeah.
There we
All right,
and
so
it would be a cock.
I think also, just ending off the conversation with the course and stuff. I think the course. I'm not just saying this, guys. I really mean it. Like I really do. I did it. And people might be like, yeah, well, why would Joe do it? And it's like, well, because I mean, you learn things. Like, I mean, you're gonna learn something, something interesting, something you didn't know about yourself. And I think it's a really simple course. And people, if you're interested, if you want to write jokes, if you want to show off to your friends, or you need help at work during a presentation, definitely invest in
Well,
yourself.
get contact you, Joe.
Sorry?
Get them to contact you, and then you can tell me, and then we can have a little deal going. Why not?
Why not? So, ladies and gentlemen, but the
This,
link is in the description as well. So,
this is the link.
yeah, there's a link in the description below. So, if you're interested, it will take you right to this website that I showed earlier, and you can have a little read yourself and see for yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, please at least go check it out. And if you know someone who might benefit from it, also pass it on to them.
Hey, when are you doing your one man thing? When are you doing that thing?
We're doing that on the 30th of July, and you have graciously agreed to be
I'm
my director.
happy. Are we starting the program on the 30th of July?
Yeah, I'm doing it for one night.
I understand that, but you must understand, I'm in the UK until the 16th of July.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do it, like we said. That's the beauty about the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, Bat, there. Try this. Whatever.
I'm gonna start sending you stuff at the end of the week, towards the end of the week, and then I know you're going away on the UK thing, which is something I wanted to chat about as well. But and then when you come back, we'll finish if there's anything.
Now, people out there should go and see Joe's new one man show. It's because they only allow one person in at a time, and it has to be.
No, well,
It's funny, guys. He came to my house. We flip and laughed all the time. He's
we
very
did,
funny guy.
eh? It was a lot of fun. It was a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah.
I love the. I'm still gonna show people the video that we took because you showed it on your page, but I'm still gonna edit and show the video of me holding the torch.
Yes, that was funny, though. It worked, eh?
It's great. And then your dog started chasing me, and I started freaking out.
Oh. If you'd stood there long enough, you would have probably peed on your leg.
Probably. There's another idea for a shirt: cock dog.
Cock dog, yeah. Actually,
Somehow.
check the dog. No, you can check the dog when they're in that position, looking at you like that, like making a.
Yeah. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, also a link in the description for my one man show. You can buy tickets now. Tickets include a meal and no, just a meal. Sorry. So a
They help
meal.
the wimpy.
No, it's it's a little bit better than Wimpy.
Oh, McDonald's. If you go through, and the show is only 15 seconds, so you can have a drive through.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to have Barry as my director. I think his influence is really gonna take the show to another level. And yeah, I mean, is you've directed before, right?
Um, Only when when Sandy was giving birth, I was saying, push, push. I can see. Come. I want more effort. I need. Come on. Make it like it's real. Just it is real. Hold on. Just come on. Oh, oh, oh. And it worked out. I directed Jack to come out.
Make it like it's real. You know what? I'm willing to bet that's a true story. Something you would do.
No, actually, Sandy had a cesarean because she's
Oh,
always
okay.
been in Julius Caesar and all that kind. So it was quite funny, when Jack was born. Sandy didn't want to know the sex of the child. So you've met Sandy, clearly. So when Sandy says something, you listen. So she told the doctors, the anaesthetist, and all that, because she had to have a cesarean because Jack was the wrong way around, upside down, sideways. Part of his tolly was in Kenya, and Sandy instructed everybody in the operating room: "Do not tell me the sex of this child. I want to see myself." So we bring out this lighty, okay, and then Jack proceeded to pee all over the nurse.
Oh my word.
She couldn't say, "Oh, his little tool's working." She had to say, like, "Well, that's working," because she's scared of Sandy.
But I mean, like, when they pulled him out, I mean, surely that's when you announce. Like, when
No,
did she want to learn?
how to do that? There's like a cesarean, so there's like a little screen above her. Next, so they took him out, checked his nose and all that shit, cut the flipping bag of chips off, you know, and then and then presented Jack front first.
Okay.
And then she saw that it was a boy. But I want to just tell, I won't say he's blessed, but if that has presented him back first, she still would have seen if he's a boy. He could probably actually do an impression of a guy with 3 legs at this moment in time. You know, people out there, my boy Jack is an absolute pearl. He's brilliant.
Nice.
Doesn't get grief, all that. And I promise you, he's so good. And I think it's because his mother and I, we allow him out of his room once a month. And he's appreciative of that.
Once a month.
Yeah, and we've got him on a strict diet. Just show him pictures of meat.
This is not true, people. Before Barry gets reported.
Imagine making a diet like that, okay? That people eat vegetables and there's like a fart machine that smells like a steak. You go,
No.
oh my gosh, it's steaks. I wish I'll have that soon in my diet. It's a bacon and egg. Have you
Yeah.
noticed diets only last until Thursday?
Yeah, because of the weekend.
No, you know what it is? Because every diet you see now, they say, like, go on this diet for 17 weeks and you will be guaranteed to lose 17 kilograms. And there's more. Every week you're allowed to have one cheese day, a cheat day, so you can eat as much as you want, which is the Friday. So you stick on a strict diet until Thursday night. and Friday morning you're eating this big chocolate cake for your cheat day, you think to yourself, if I take all of my cheat days now, then
That's true, though. That's very, very true. I think a lot of people do that. I speak about your son, Jack.
yes.
I just want to also mention, like, yes, guys. For those of you who might be curious, Jack is a comedian in the making, but he's also an athlete. He is a wordsmith, and he's a really, really awesome kid. I'm not gonna lie. He's really, really awesome and a delight to be around.
Hold on a second. You hear what Joe said? That was the best 1,000 rands we've ever spent. Thousand.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Good lad.
I remember. I don't know if I told you, but when I was visiting your place, and we went to go buy wood, okay, at the garage, and
Not I'm going to think that I'm a tight ass. I invite you to a Brian. You got to buy wood. It was
no. I offered to. I offered to. We just happened to need more. I offered to. But so Jack and his friend came with me on the ride, and I'll never forget this. Jack was so funny. We're in my car on the way back. I think it was on the way back, and then he's like, you know what, Joe? And I'm like, what, Jack? And he's like, I was thinking, this car isn't actually that small.
it's that small. Noddy used to use it. Who was his mate? Was it Lusasa?
Yes, Lusasa, that's the one.
No,
Yeah,
good kid.
a very good kid as well. Yeah. No, I had a nice laugh at that. I was like, "Thank you,
But
Jack."
Jack is weird, or he says things that are like that, all the time. So once again, back to if I'm to say my course, I encourage Jack to do that because he cracks about that. And here's a story quickly. He was in school, and the teacher told a joke, and Jack said, "Yeah, that's an exaggeration joke." And she said, "What do you mean?" So Jack said, "Well, jokes are made up of puns, exaggeration, or misdirection." And she said to him, "But how do you know?" And he said, "Have you heard of Barry Hilton, miss?" Jack's funny, man. We went out for dinner the one time, and the Oak said to Jack, when we sat down, the Oak said to Jack, was like making a joke with Jack, and said to him, "Can I order some wine for us, Jack?" And instantly Jack said to him, "Actually, nah, I prefer beer." And he was 8 at the time.
Nice. I no, like I said, he's a great kid, and I think he's got a bright future. But the thing is, like, he does everything like under the sun. He's a soccer player. I don't know, windboarding or surfing, and a
And he ma-
comedian.
and he does BMX. He does other stuff.
Yeah. So
Does unicycle. Does slack.
the unicycle thing took me by surprise because I mean, a lot of kids, they learn how to ride a
Yeah,
bike. He's unicycling.
but it's not that. It's not the normal unicycle. You must tell the Oaks. It's that giraffe one that he rides.
The
That
long
he
one. He didn't
that
show it to us.
the 2 meters high. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Um,
Yeah, he's very up for it. Started playing soccer now, and he's you have to start in the lower team.
yeah.
Clearly, that's the way it is. So on the way home, he said to me, "Okay, what do I need to get into the A side?" And I said, "Well, determination, perhaps, and perspiration. There's a lot of perspiration that'll come with that." So every morning, Jack does 30 sit-ups, 20 push-ups. He planks.
Oh wow.
And I'm saying to him, and now he says, "No, I want to get better. I want to get stronger. I must get my..." So, wow, okay. Imagine if I could do that, I'd probably be half the man I am.
Same here.
But I've also 5 other beautiful kids. Don't forget that.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting them. Are they all boys?
No,
Okay.
my daughter Tracy is a girl. Funny enough, and Tracy, my firstborn, Tracy. She's the business. She's in Cape Town. It's married. She's with a really cool guy. They in finance, and then Bradley is in videoing, like I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie is a a musician in London.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler is in the same business as Bradley. Robin, who's before Tyler, is a salesperson. So how's this? My boy Tyler just did a tour with Simple Minds.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yep. And
That's really cool.
um, he's been offered a well, they're in discussions on it now with Depeche Mode for a year.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
You
good.
know? Well, yeah, you know what? I've always encouraged my children to do what they need to do, not
Mm.
what I want them to do.
Yeah.
Because people, if there's anybody out there, don't choose your kid's life, man. Let the kid.
Yes.
I was doing a gig once in PE, and a guy said to me, "Am I taking too long?"
No, no, no.
I was doing a gig in PE the one day, and the guy said to me, "Did you know that your son went to my daughter's school?" And I said, "Oh wow, what's her name?" He said to me, "No, no, she's a doctor." I said, "Fantastic. What is her name?" "No, you don't understand. She's a doctor who works in the Netherlands." "Really, this is true?"
Okay.
I said, "Okay. Did she want to be a doctor?" He said, "No, no, no. We decided when she was born she's going to be a doctor." And I said to him, "Maybe that's why she lives in the Netherlands, man." And he was like, "Quite sure. What do you mean?" I said, "Seriously? Does she want to be a doctor?"
Yeah.
But yeah, but she might. I mean, I'm not knocking that person or that girl, whatever, the daughter, but why? My father forced me to become a
Mm.
tradesman. I wanted to become an actor, but he just wouldn't allow it. But he didn't. He wouldn't. He didn't do it because he was like a horrible, shitty dad. It was like, I've got to think out the best for my son, you know. So
Yeah.
my brother
As
too, my late brother, who was a very successful businessman
mm-hmm.
um, in the music industry, my father forced him to become an electrician. And it
Yeah.
was just a waste of time.
Well, it's the same with my father. My father also wanted me to do like IT or just
But Stephen
anything.
that book.
Sorry.
Stephen King has already written that book.
Yeah. Damn.
They want you to do things because they think they are guiding you to that. So you must
Yeah.
actually. Did you know Roger Federer? His mum let him play any sport he wanted. And I believe he was swimming, he was playing soccer, I don't know, whatever. He did all of these sports, okay? And then one day he came to his mom and said, "I want to do tennis." She said, "Sweet."
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody's going to become Roger Federer,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but cloning people.
But you want your child to be able to do what they want to do
I'll give you an
and
example.
support them.
Jack started playing soccer. He really enjoys football. Really, really enjoys football. So there's a thing. One of the other activities he does, there came a bit of a clash. So Jack said, "Is it okay if I don't do that now?" And we both said, "Yeah, it's fine." But he's learned the basics of it's magic he was doing. Excuse me. He's learned the basics and he's happy with that. So I'm happy. The guy must actually choose. I mean, he's only 12, my Gideon, you know. So
Yeah. He's got his whole life ahead of him. So
yeah.
he's got time to change. He's got time to decide, like whatever works for him, right?
Oh, well, he's 12, and I got to start talking to him about the birds and the bees. Do you know?
Are you looking
But
for?
now, political correctness. You must talk about the birds, the bees, and amoebas because they don't know what they are. I just made that quite funny.
That's great.
I can't joke because I compared everybody, birds, bees, and the trouble is with an amoeba, because you are your own. You can choose your own. You can be a pain in your own. Anyway,
But yeah, it's that's a conversation. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with. At least I think. Uh, but I mean, don't kids already know more or less?
I have no idea. I don't want to get involved in that stuff because people will say this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
I think kids find out for themselves.
yeah,
If you look on the British sport, there's a guy now, professional footballer, really good footballer, plays for Blackpool. I read it this morning. He's actually openly come out and said, "Look, guys, I'm gay," and all his teammates said, "You can kick the ball, you can pass the ball. You're the most ferocious tackler I've ever seen. I don't care if you're Martian.
yeah.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No,
If you want to be gay, that's your gig, man. That's nobody else, So I think when people start getting involved in that, unless you exactly know what you're talking about, it's not a big deal.
yeah. No, I agree
Yeah,
with you. Yeah.
to be who they are. And remember, we wrote that joke about the inclusion on the rugby team now with all this. Remember that stuff? So it works. So whatever.
Apparently, you got in trouble for that joke, though.
Yeah, the one time I was called uh, some sort of racist thing, whatever.
See,
I once on stage, "You're a racist." I said to him, "Yes, 100 meters."
nice.
You,
Yeah,
as I am not. I'm not to anybody. I just took. Maybe that's why I've still been going so long because I don't do politics. I don't do crap like that. I don't curse, and you know what I'm saying. So I have fun.
actually, I have a story to tell you because obviously we posted that we were brying together and stuff like that, and obviously my family kind of freaked out, like because I didn't tell everybody, and then obviously when I posted it, then people were
Why?
like,
Like,
"Huh?
don't they like me?
No, no, no." I just let people know on the post, and then we had a family event for Mother's Day, and then all of a sudden, one of my family members came up to me and said, "Oh, I saw you were with Barry Hilton. What's he like? Da 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 da. I've seen so many of his show. He's amazing." And then he looks at me and he's like, "You're a comedian too, right?" And I said, "Yes." And he's like, "Don't ever swear. It's the reason why I love Barry Hilton."
Oh, okay. I would swear by that. But thank you very much.
Yeah.
You
So
know, I'm not an angel, dude, by any. And I'm one of the boys. When we're at home, I'm at home. But when I started, I had this fantastic advice from a guy called Johnny Noble, who told me, "Keep it clean. You'll always be in the scene." That's marketing, bro.
yeah,
So if you keep it clean and you stay away from that whilst you're on stage or whatever it is, therefore your audience is going to be bigger. Because I have people bringing their well, you've seen it.
yeah,
They bring their 13-year-old kids to watch my shows because they are comfortable with that. So think about this now. If you're a comedian who curses and what you do, which is up to you understand?
yeah,
Those 13-year-old kids realistically would be introduced to comedians that are family friendly 6 or 7 years before they can see the other guys.
yeah.
So family friendly comedians have got 6 years start on these guys.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It
Of
does.
course.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it's wonderful that when people come to the show, you've seen. I mean, there's people come to my show, and I love it when you get the teenagers that have come there. I've come here
Yeah.
because my parents made me, and then after 5 minutes, you see these teenagers laughing, and well, you've seen it, and you did it yourself. I mean, you made some of those youngsters really laugh, and then that is a fantastic feeling.
Yeah.
It's not about them and dad have come there. The fact that mom and dad brought them there, maybe under duress, and then they've gone away as a fan, which is
Yeah.
brilliant.
No, it
You
is.
you can't buy that feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's
No.
brilliant.
No. Our our gig at Somerset West, well, your gig, which I opened for, um,
He's got that right.
Somerset West for 4 nights was amazing. I just released a video on that, and I hope people enjoy
I saw
it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and
you.
I think funny story from that. You got COVID and I didn't.
Yes. Can I just tell the people out there? I want to tell you, and this is really true. Joe came. Opened the first night. He came off, and I lovingly said to him, Joe, try this. Maybe don't do that. Do this. And the next night he got up and he listened to what I said. I'm not the flippant. I'm a director. Yo. So he listened to what I said, and Joe actually smashed these
Yeah.
guys. It was great. And from then on, he did it. It was brilliant. So I thank you, Joe, for listening to me. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because I
thank
get
you for
so
taking the
many,
time.
I get so many young comics who ask me, "Can I come and open your show for you?" And I said, "That what are you, a locksmith?" No. Can I come and open the show? And now what I do is I phone people like Joe or maybe Skulk or Gino Fernandez, and I say, "Do you know this guy?" Because, and I'll tell you why. Because I wouldn't say I've mentored the people, but I know your quality. I know Gino's quality. I certainly know Skulk's quality. So they've reached a level now that I can actually ask you, "How's this act?" Because I've never heard of him, and because I remember I spoke to you about one or two, and you went, "Look, no, I wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
So I left it at that. So well done to you, Joe, because you've actually gone to another level now. That no, isn't that right? You've gone to
Yeah.
another level. People are saying, "Wow, Joe Emilio. Well, I'm going to watch this oak."
Yeah. Yeah.
Barry Hilton sounds a lot like him,
Yeah, I
but we
do.
never laugh at.
Yeah, I do think that my material, your material, it does work together, and I think that that's beneficial. I've always wanted, and I remember the first time I heard you tell that story about the comedian who told you, don't keep it clean and you'll always be in the scene. It was in your Mnet. Mnet did a interview
Yes,
with you,
yeah,
and I watched it and I heard that, and then since that, and this was ages ago, but since then, I was telling myself I need to stop swearing. I need to stop swearing, and unfortunately, it's a bad habit from the open mic scene that I need to kick. And
can
I,
I
yeah,
say something dejected, Joe? You should only pursue that if that's within you. If you are a comic that is aggressive and
oh
and that is your style, there's nothing wrong with that because that's your thing.
yeah, it's your
You know what
shtick.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Who am I to come to a successful guy and say, "Dude, don't do this, don't do that"? He'll just say to me, "Go away."
yeah,
But if Johnny Noble told me you can spend 3 or 4 years copying people, and then your career will be over, or you can spend 10 years creating your own style
yeah,
and with you for the rest of your life.
yeah.
I just spoke to a guy now in Blackpool. I'm going there. There's a guy called Mick Miller. 38 years ago, I saw him perform in Blackpool, and I went up to him. And I said, "Can you help me?" And he said, "Look, you live in South Africa. I can't really do it." He just actually contacted me now and said, "Hey, Baz, I see that you're coming to London. Are you?" And I thought, wow. So I looked it up again. Joe Mick Miller is 74, and he
Wow.
still works the clubs. He works the cruise liners, and he works they used to be called alternative, the comedy clubs now that are around, because he's created this style. He's like a bit of a zany guy. So age doesn't matter, bro.
No, it
It's what
doesn't.
you put out. And he's funny, man. And to work on the cruise liners, you're not allowed to do that other stuff. And if you work on a cruise line, especially in Australia, if there's anybody thinking about that, you need to have 2 hours at least of material, because you're stuck on a ship with 1,000, 2,000 people, and you've got to do 2 shows that have to be completely different. So if you're flicking and all that stuff, your chances are a bit less, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you've got what, like 6 hours of material, maybe more. 24
Now,
hours. Yeah.
about 25.
Yeah.
But
I've
now, as we speak now, I could probably go to a club and do at least 4 to 5 different 40-minute sets, at
I
least.
believe that because like I said, like we had four shows together. Each show is different. You may have
Yeah.
used one or two, three, four jokes that were the same, but they were in different parts of the show at different moments in the show, mixed with material I hadn't heard before, new material that I definitely haven't heard before that was relevant to what's happening in today's world at this time.
Yeah, well, I do
Um,
living, eh?
yeah,
As we, I ad lib
so
a lot.
which was amazing to also watch because it's nice to I'm watching four times, but each time is different. It's amazing. So I know
And
you've got 4 hours.
5,000. Even three. Okay, Sandy says three grand.
Okay. But very quickly before we end off the show, talk a bit about because I'm sure we have some people from England or across the world that are watching. Tell me
My,
about your upcoming tour.
my upcoming tour is I'm going to England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales from I'm leaving on the 5th of June or the 6th of June, I believe, and I'm coming back on the 16th of July. So I'm doing England dates in England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I've also been booked to go to Zurich and to Amsterdam, and I believe there is a Malta on the cards. And now we've been offered. I just got offered to go to Singapore the other day,
Wow.
and Dubai. There's a British-run comedy circuit in Dubai that the woman was talking to us before COVID, and now sort of they started up again. So I might be going to Dubai. And funny enough, how's this Kenya?
Interesting.
Yeah, well, comedy is the common language nowadays. You can, if you're a working comedian. There's a guy across in my neighbor's yard here now who's cutting down a tree. He used to just do menial task works, but now he's branching out. Yeah, so then it is. Look at. Hello, how's that? Fabulous. So yeah, so the things are going on, and we started off. I think I was doing two or three shows in the UK to use as an excuse to go see my children and my grandson.
Yeah.
But it's blossomed into 22 shows. And now, when we stopped, when
Nice.
Sandy booked the tickets to go there, she had to leave space, because I've money's so tight. I'm going on my bicycle.
Then you have to leave tomorrow.
My show only starts next year. So we had to book tickets. And the funny thing, isn't it this? As soon as we booked the tickets and we locked all the airfares in, because you have to, the air flights, then we got, please come to Newcastle. There's 800 South Africans in an active group. Please come here. Please come there. Please come there. So we've had to say, look, guys, time was a bit constrained, so we'll make another tour. Maybe we can go together, Joe.
Don't tease me like that.
Fine. Maybe we'll level off.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to the opportunity if that
Yeah,
ever does
level.
uh, come to fruition. I wouldn't miss on that opportunity. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about it.
A very, very good promoter overseas. He's a South African guy who's become my manager overseas, if you will. Stuart Mclaren. He's a drummer from South Africa, but he's got Sandy. No, what is Stuart's company? Music Guru. Have a look. Music Guru. Um, he's organised the tour, so
Okay,
why not?
why not?
I've actually spoke to him about a few other established South African comics. So why not? Because I believe it's very important to help one another.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. What if you did a just an idea, something like what Trevor Noah did with his I think he called it Wild Nation or Nation Wild, something like that, where he did a special on I think it was Showmax, and he had like a group of
Uh,
up and coming guys.
I'm not at that level, I'm afraid, because, and also, the demographics of comedy has changed, and we have to be realistic about life. Have a look at all the Netflix specials, all the South African comedians, okay? And you can see who's on there, or whatever. And it's the younger blood and it's the new things. But, also bear in mind that Trevor Noah is a phenomenon. He's not a normal comic. I was regarded as one of the top, well, hopefully I'm still one of the top comics in the country. And in a very short space of time, Trevor Noah surpassed us all by a mile. I'm talking about Nick, I'm talking about Mark Lottering, all of these guys. Um, Trevor Noah is just in another orbit. I'm a little bit sad, I must admit. Trevor has reasons. It would take one phone call from Trevor Noah to put the likes of Nick Rabimovich, um, uh, maybe myself, I don't know, any comic in South Africa that is strong enough, because Trevor's so uh, high up in the food chain now, he could say, listen, my friend da 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 is coming here, and I'm telling you, he's good enough to go on the David Letterman or whatever it is. So he
Daily
has
show.
that, but he has reasons for that, and good luck to him. And I mean, you can't knock talent like that. You just can't. He's whatever he does himself. He's exceptional. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I think I think say again.
My, and I'm going to confession about it. Now, Trevor Noah is a phenomenon, man. We should be proud. Check it us. He's put us on the map.
Yeah, but I still think you have pull enough to if you wanted if we got the right contacts and we said, cool, Barry Hilton wants to put it together this show where it's all the upcoming guys, just like what Trevor Noah did. I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could make that happen.
Well, we could, but we'll
Yeah,
have to just wait a little while
yeah.
because I'm a little bit busy. In fact, I have to. My next show is in February, I think. And this, no, I'm only kidding. I'm busy. Things have changed, eh? Things have really changed. COVID has readdressed the way things happen. We can't
Yeah.
work audiences anymore, especially in South Africa. Um, but we've altered it, to work to 200, 300, 400 people. When I was doing 2,000 plus, to
Yeah.
tell you that I prefer it. I actually, I remember once working in Carnival City, 4,200 people, and it was me alone on the stage. And I saw these poor people looking at me on video screens.
Yeah.
And I thought, shit, that's not fair, man. That's not right. Especially for my style of comedy. I like to be up close and personal
Yes.
and still cut. So, I mean, I wouldn't like to go watch a comedian and have to watch the person on a video screen.
Mm.
It's a bit shitty. But that's
It,
my style and my idea. But yes, we could do a tour, certainly, that we could have a 1,000-seater venue, easy, a proper theatre, like the Gold Reef City.
mm,
Have you
yeah.
been there?
Yes, I have. I have. I
It's
have.
a fabulous room.
Yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. In the meantime, I'm working at the smaller rooms and I'm loving it. One of the best rooms. I don't know if you've been there. I think you came to see me there at De Boer.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What a venue. Oaks, is there any comics out there listening? You need to try and ask the Oaks to go work at De Boer.
Mm.
You have to know what you're doing because it's a very demanding crowd, but it is wonderful. You can ask Joe. I
Yeah.
mean, he's sitting on the person's lap.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very intimate, very beautiful venue as well. There's a lot of great venues, man. Even that the Playhouse Theater where we did your show, Somerset West.
Brilliant venue, eh?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
There's a lot of
Um,
very, very strong venues. Fortunately, on the downside of comedy, pub owners who think they've got a little spare space in the corner, they think,
Mm.
okay, comedy show there, and they forget to think about, the acoustics and all of this and how people are going to see you, and there's pillars in the way and that and that. So maybe there's an opportunity for somebody like you, Joe, and I'm being serious here now, to go and scout venues because you know what will work.
Oh, I did
So,
that before. Before COVID, that's what I was doing and creating
well,
like
but now,
um,
why don't you put a message out there and say, let me come and see if your venue is suitable for comics? Because
uh, it's not viable at this stage, unfortunately, because of that restriction on the capacity.
no, but I'm talking about. Imagine if you do that now. You, you're an established guy, particularly in Cape Town, and you go there and you say, "I know what works and how what works." For instance, I did a golf day on Friday, and the running order was completely wrong.
Mm.
The lady that was doing it, she thought that was the way to do it, and I said to her, "No, you got to do it this way, this way, this way, and this way, because other than that, it won't work."
Yeah,
So she said, "Okay," and then we did it the way I said, and it worked
mm.
because of my experience. So
Yeah,
why not have an experienced person like yourself go to a venue and be brutally honest and say, "Dude, you're only going to get 30 people in here. It's just not worth it."
yeah,
You know, because there are loads of lacquer places.
yeah.
Lacquer.
There are.
There's a place in Cork Bay. I went there once or twice. I think it held about 150 people. It would look like a church. In Cork. Have you been there? It was Cork Bay Theatre. It was fantastic.
Yes, Coldplay Theater. I've been there once. Yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very, very nice.
yeah. There's quite a. I mean, the venue that I'm doing my one man show at is also a nice little 80 seater, but unfortunately with the restrictions, you can only put 40 people, which is annoying.
Okay.
Um, but
You know,
but it's intimate. It's lovely. Food is great. But there's a lot of venues like that are around Cape Town that I know about, that I've worked with before at some point. Unfortunately, COVID did destroy. So I was working with a number of venues before
did
COVID.
you work in Peru ever?
No, 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 no. I focused mainly in the northern suburbs. Cafe Rue is southern in Cape Town, CBD. Um,
Because you work in the northern suburb purely because your wife is her first language is not English. We know that. Personally, I've got an Afrikaans girl. This Russian chick is pathetic. I'm
I
as sharp as a pin. That's why he's sharp.
thank you, Barry. I think no, the reason why I do it in the northern suburbs is because I live in the northern suburbs. Number one, number two, not a lot of comedy happens in the northern suburbs. Like it's all in Cape Town. Like Cape Town, you can find a lot of gigs.
Yep.
So I did it. I used to do it in the northern suburbs quite a bit. Worked with a lot of the guys, but unfortunately, also the restaurants I used to work with, half of them are gone. They
Can
didn't
I
make
tell you?
it.
But when we went to this playhouse, I filled it 4 nights. Filled
Yeah.
no problem. I go this place, I fill it. I go there, I fill it. I go there, I fill it. All over the place. I'm doing a show 2 weeks time in Hermanus.
Yes, I saw.
Well, no, I might have to pull it because it's
Oh,
just not
really?
enough. Yeah, there's just not enough support. I don't understand, and I think people maybe in Hermanus wait until the last minute because there is so much to do in Hermanus. You see,
Mm.
but it's a bit disheartening for me. I would have thought I would have sold it out in days. Boom, gone. But
Also, Cape Town has a habit of last moment. Like even my one man show, I think at the moment there's only two tickets sold, which is not alarming me at all because it's still 2 3 months until the show.
yeah,
So I'm not alarmed, but I'm actually surprised that two tickets were sold at this point because usually, like we are discussing now, Cape Townians wait until the last week.
to be fair, Sandy bought them.
No, she didn't. I checked.
Yeah, also people are scared. I think maybe. So I'm not knocking them on us. I'm saying people are just very weary about going out. Talk and you never know because COVID is still around. Even to the people out there that don't believe that COVID exists, there is a virus of some sort going around that is not lekker.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they don't come.
Yeah, and also like it's getting into winter. Cape Townians are even more resistant to going out when it's winter, and budgets as well. But then again, Hermanus is a very high market area, so
The weirdest thing, Joe. Sorry, I interrupt all the time, but I've got ADHD. I don't even know. What's your name again? So I've realised the other day that uh, some of the places in Hermanus or in South Africa, you can actually walk around without your mask.
yeah.
And I've realised I'm so ugly that people have asked me to wear the mask anyway.
Yeah, I know.
You have to laugh, don't you?
No, you have to. You have to. It's the only way to get through.
Yeah. What the hell?
But yeah, like speaking about COVID, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, you got it at a gig we were both at. I didn't get it, which
Yeah,
was interesting. But I mean, you came out great. I mean, in terms of like it was mild.
yeah, and I've got the new variant. Apparently, it's COVID-22. Um, no,
Does it attack your funny buns?
what? I came home from that gig after the last one. Now, you remember we did two weekends, I think,
Mm,
whatever. And I came home, and the next morning I said to Sandy, "Yeah, I feel like a bit sore, you know."
mm.
Um, and then it got progressively worse. And luckily, it didn't go to my chest.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where it's dangerous.
I went to the doctor. The doctor said, "Listen, you got COVID." And I said, "How can you be sure?" She said, "Have you not noticed I'm treating you from the next room?" So,
My favorite COVID joke that you have. What you say it? Do you have any COVID jokes?
19. Can't believe how many people have asked me, though. You know, COVID is not really something you should joke about unless you can do it on a very light note.
Mhm.
You can't joke about COVID killing people. You
No.
know. So, yeah.
Death is a very difficult thing to talk about in comedy, unless you're
Well,
dying on
it's
stage.
dying on stage. I died once so bad on stage. I saw John Lennon, Elvis Presley, and Bob Marley in the same sort of cloud, and they weren't even.
It's great. So Anna Marie Nell says that's why the internet show is great. We can be snuggled up in bed and not pay much for snacks and drinks. See, that's the other thing. Like that's why people don't go out that much.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd love to do that, but personally, there's two things I can't. Why I could. I don't know where you live, and wouldn't your husband be upset? Thank you, Anna Marie. I really appreciate it. I want to tell you, though, Anna Marie, that talking to a phone is a very difficult thing. This is working now purely because we're doing all this ad lib stuff because I'm bouncing off Joe and vice versa.
Yeah,
So it does make it easy. If perhaps somehow we could see the audience would be great,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Somebody asked Sandy the other day, they want me to do a show and film it. So the people that come into the room will see me live, which at least then I get feedback. And then we're going to stream the show
yeah,
to people who can't make it or don't want to make it. That'll be a cheaper option. I think it's at Tibur, funny enough.
mm,
So we're going to do that maybe. So they're going to film it, stream it. Then it's a workable thing for me, Anna Marie, because at least you get some sort of feedback from the people.
yeah.
Because talking to a flippant phone is terrible. It's like talking to one of those salespeople. Hello, are you David Hilton? Yes. Wow, this is your lucky day. Did you 12 million people? You have been chosen. And I go like, my best one is now. I say, sorry, I'm not working. In fact, have you got any money for me? And they put the phone up. It's,
That's brilliant.
that's a cuck job.
That is
People
cocked
do
up.
it because they do it, but that must be heart wrenching,
Yeah.
to have to talk to people and then they just put the phone down on you all day.
Yeah.
But so those people are brave. They should stand up on stage and die anyway. It doesn't matter because that's what they're doing every day. We're next to a
Yeah.
school. Notice that?
Yeah. I can hear the kids in the background.
Yes.
Um, but I'm gonna have to end the show here because we've gone over an hour. So thank you so much for your time, Barry. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this whole show was about Barry's course that we spoke about in the beginning of the show. In case you're just tuning in now, check out the course. The link is in the description below. Also, you can get tickets to my one-man show, which Barry Hilton is directing. Also, link in the description below. That show is happening on the 30th of July, ladies and gentlemen, and you can access Barry Hilton's course at any time. It is open now for you to enjoy, so please go check it out. Barry, any final words?
Watching me, I really do appreciate the people that have supported me for so many years and all of the new fans that have come on. It's a wonderful feeling to know that people still want to listen and hear and enjoy what you have to say. It's that's the greatest feeling ever.
Absolutely. All right, Barry, once again, thank you so much for your time. And thank you guys for watching me this early in the morning. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please share it. Please like the video. And I will see you later tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.
Ciao. Bye.